All right, can everyone hear me? Can you guys hear me clearly? Is my voice loud? Not sure it's that loud, but let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. Let me send the link out. All right, can you hear me? All right, this thing is loud, dude. Jesus. Yeah, going to start in like a few seconds. Starting in 1 minute. I'm starting in 1 minute. Let me post the link on Telegram. All right. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our NFP live trading session. So I'm going to start by going over what NFP is briefly. But before I do that, let me know how many persons already have their accounts funded. Let me know how many persons actually have an account which they are going to use to trade the news. Okay, if you have an account which you're going to use to trade the news, drop a one in the chat box. Drop a one in the chat box. This is the first time we are doing NFP live trading session on YouTube. We normally do it in-house, but I decided to actually make it public so I can be able to share to people and people can be able to see how it is to predict fundamental news. You know, when I was young and started trading forex, I always looked at fundamental news as something that can never be traded. I always looked at fundamental news as something that can never be traded because of the way it used to be. You're just trading all of a sudden, you just the market just move up and then you've lost like so much money, or you're trading and all of a sudden the market just move down and you've lost so much money. But as I started trading forex, I noticed that there's actually a way to trade fundamental news. Right? It's basically talking about the economy of a particular country or a particular region. And if the economy is actually doing well, you should be able to know, right, by checking some metrics and all of those. Now, once you put two and two together, you should be able to have a prediction of the economy. There are different fundamental news that comes out, and the most traded ones we have are NFP. This is brightness a little bit. We have NFP, which is non-farm payroll. It is used to employment rate. The yardstick to measure employment rate. The next one we have is CPI, which is consumer price index. This one is used as a yardstick to measure inflation. Okay. Then we have PPI. Please drop we are live on the group chat you are actually on. Okay. Drop we are live on the group chat you are actually on. Let me quickly drop on Telegram. Right. So drop your live on the group chat you are on. So PPI is used purchasers producers price index rather. That's PMI. PMI is purchasers managers index, producer price index. This one is used to measure inflation of produced used goods. Definitely you should know that CPI is inflation of the consumers, like things that people actually buy, to know if um, to get an index of the purchasing power of the people, how much people are buying and stuff like that. It's these are yardsticks which are used to measure how good an economy is um, performing. Then we have FOMC. FOMC is basically the organ of all of them. So FOMC is a, how am I going to put it now? So we have employment rates, which is the labor. We have, did I explain employment properly? We have inflation rate, which is how expensive things are in the country. Then we have FOMC. FOMC actually have certain knobs its tons, right, to make sure the economy is at a certain level, to make sure things are not too expensive and things are not too cheap. Because if things are too cheap in the country, it's going to be bad. If things are too expensive in the country, it's going to be bad. Also, to also make sure employment rate is not too low and employment rate is not too high. So that's what FOMC actually does. So FOMC actually monitor data from employment NFP, from CPI and PPI, and from it they are able to deduce the employment rate, how gainfully employed citizens of the country actually are, and also inflation rates. So if one of them is going high, they would actually turn something. If one of them is going low, they will turn something. Just look at it as you are living in a house that has a heater and has an AC, and you like when the room is at normal room temperature. You don't like it being too cold or too hot. You have a certain temperature you like the room to actually be at. Now, during summer, the sun is going to be heavy, it's going to be on your face, it's going to be very, very daring, and the temperature of your room is definitely going to rise. So, what are you going to do? You're going to turn on the air conditioner up a little bit, like turn it on, and you understand, to reduce the temperature. Also, when during winter, when the weather is very, very cold, everywhere will be very, very cold. So what you do, you turn on the heater to adjust the temperature. That's what FOMC actually does. So FOMC actually controls these knobs, and then that's where you see interest rates, this one, that one. That's where you see economic projections and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into depth with all of those things, but that's just basically what it is. So today's news that is coming out is the NFP, which is basically non-farm payroll. It's talking about the rate of employment in the particular country, and this NFP is usually for the US dollar. It's for the US dollar actually. Other countries have their own employment data and all, but the US dollar is what people mostly focus on because the US is the world power, so every other thing is China, it's fake, you know. So that's why we all usually focus on NFP. So before I show you my economic projections on the NFP, let me show you, let me give you an understanding of how the market will move when a news comes out, or how market actually moves when news comes out. So first of all, we are looking for a buy on USD JPY, which also translates to a sell on gold. That's XAUSD. So this is actually my prediction. Once the news comes out, the market is going to go up by 40 pips. That is my own prediction. All right. How I came about that, I'm going to explain it probably after we are done trading it. Okay. But you need to understand what I call currency pair analogy. So currency pair analogy basically is designed to help you understand how currency pairs move. So when you have a currency pair, you have, it's in a pair, right? USD JPY. Now I want you to look at the first pair as the numerator and the second pair as the denominator. Okay. Then look at these two pairs as human beings doing tug of war. Okay, because currency pairs are in a constant tug of war. All right. The one at the top is trying to pull the pair up. The one at the bottom is trying to pull the pair down. If they actually have equal strengths, the market will just be in that center. It's not going to be going up. It's not going to be going down. Okay. So the fundamental news is a news talking about the economy, right? How the economy has been performing recently. Okay. So if it comes out and it says, oh, US, United States of America has provided lots of jobs for their citizens and they have more people that are actually employed in the country at the moment. That is what we call a good news. It's not a good news if Nigeria government actually creates more jobs for youth. That's a good news. You understand? So more employment is equal to positive for the US dollar. And if it comes out and say, oh, they have produced more jobs, that is a good news. What's going to happen to US dollar? It's going to gain strength. And if the US dollar gains strength, it's going to be bigger than JPY. And once it's bigger than JPY, what's going to happen? It's going to drag this pair up. Invariably, if the news comes out and they say, "Oh, US dollar, America lost lots of jobs in recently," that's a bad news. That means more people are unemployed in the country. What's going to happen? Lower employment, higher employment. Let's put lower, lower employment is negative. And they say, "Oh, yeah, United States of America lost more jobs." What's going to happen? It's a bad news for their currency. Their currency will lose strength. Imagine doing tug of war with someone and someone also you just lose strength and the person will be stronger than you. The person will just pull you away. And in that scenario, you're going to see this pair go down immediately. So either the market goes up or goes down with the news. It's going to be depending on the outcome of the news. If it's going to be positive or it's going to be negative. So my own prediction now is United States of America created more jobs and there are more persons gainfully employed than the previous month currently in the United States. And that is a positive news. Shows that they have been doing well, right? So my prediction now is that more employment on the USD. That basically means US is going to gain strength, and if USD gains strength, what will happen? It's going to pull the pair up. So this is why I said sell gold. Gold now is XAUSD. So in this situation now, XAU is up and USD is down. We have XAU up, it's green, and we have USD down, is red. They are still in tug of war, but their position now has been changed. USD now is lower. So if USD, I'm predicting that USD is going to gain strength because I'm predicting they provided more jobs. So if they gain strength, USD will be stronger. So you see it here, it's above. If it gains strength, it's going to be stronger. If you pull the pair up, here is below. If it gains strength, you understand. So that is basically. So what we are going to do now is that I want you to open the currency pair you want to trade. You are going to be trading USD JPY. Select USD JPY. We are going to be trading USD JPY. So select USD JPY. How many lot size do you want to use to trade USD JPY? Depends on you. If you want to use one lot, if you want to use two lots, whatever you want, if you want to use 0.01, it depends on you. Okay? That particular information depends on you. Now, 2 minutes to, because the NFP is coming out by 2:30 p.m. 2 minutes to the NFP release time, we are going to enter a buy on USD JPY. Once we enter the buy, I'll tell you the stop loss to use. You will use 466 as your stop loss price. So let's go and enter our buy now. You use 450 rather as your stop loss price. Then you use 956, 950. Enter your buy now on USGPY. I've entered my buy. So let me show you my stop loss. I use TP is equal to 157.950, 157.950. Then SL is equal to 157.450. Okay. So once you do that, you wait. You wait. Let's wait for the news to come out. You see, the market is buying. Close your. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait. The market is buying. Let's see the outcome of the news. You close your trade now, please. Close your close your trade. Close your trade in profit now, please. Close your trade in profit now. Close your trade in profit now. Close your trade in profit now. The market climbed by about 27 pips. Well, we want to actually take 40 pips, but the market bought by 27 pips. So let's read the result of the news. So average hourly earnings was higher as I predicted, and unemployment rate was lower, but the amount of jobs was lower. So average hourly earnings, let's break it down. I've told you guys close your trade though. I close around here. So I cut like 1 is to 2 RR. Okay. So um average hourly earnings, NFP consists of three metrics. NFP. Um, so we got our prediction correct and we made money. It consists of average hourly earnings, all right? Then it consists of, let me take this one out away from here. It consists of unemployment rate and the organ of all of them, employment change. So employment change is the one that influences the market the most. Employment change is the one that influences the market the most. Average hourly earnings is also influences the market very, very well. Then we have unemployment rate. Unemployment rate. Okay, so I summarized everything into what do you call it? NFP. You understand? I gave you my prediction. You get, but now I want to break it down into the three matrix that make up the NFP. Employment change. If you look here, come to your forex factory and you look here, you will notice something. Look at NFP. We have average hourly earnings one. We have, yes, the non-farm employment change two, and we have unemployment rate three. Good. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Let's make this interactive. Let me not just be talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Let's make this interactive. If employment change increases, what will happen to USD? Employment change increase. That basically means they created more jobs for US citizens. What happened to USD? That's a very good news for US, for America. Now, America created more jobs for United States citizens. The USD gains strength. Okay, you get that. If average hourly earnings, which is how much people earn every hour of the day, how much they earn, if it increases, that's a good news for the American citizens. That basically means people in America earn more money per hour they worked. Okay, they earn more money. If your people are earning like 10,000 naira per hour before, for last month they earned 30,000 naira per hour. It's a very good news because NFP is designed to talk about the labor markets, how much people work, how much new jobs are created, how much they earned, everything about the labor market. So if it increases, is USD gains strength. Then unemployment rate, if less people are unemployed, that's a good news, because less people unemployed basically means more partly employed in the country. So if unemployment rate is lower, it means USD gains strength. This is what I was predicting. All right. So I got two out of my three predictions correct. I got hourly average hourly earnings. Average hourly earnings increased. So USD gains strength. USD gains. Let's come here. You see it here. Look at average hourly earnings. Previous was 0.1%. Actual was 0.3%. From 0.1, it jumped to 0.3% increase. Then unemployment change. Unemployment rate, look at unemployment rate here. It reduced from 4.6% to 4.4%. So this one decreased, Abby. It decreased from 4.6 to 4.4. Let me show you again. This is 4.6, previous 4.6, actual 4.4. That means here's the gain strength and rise. But the one I didn't predict correct was employment change. Okay, so employment change, I predicted going to increase, which means more people got jobs, but it actually reduced. So from 56,000, it reduced to 50,000. You understand? It reduced to 50,000. So this one actually decreased. So USD was meant to lose. Did you get that? So that's why we had that mix. You understand? So if this employment change increased, the money for plenty is just flew up. You know the way it just be going up like that. You understand? But because there was one contradicting result, just one. So that's why this last two, one, two, USD gain cost the market to rise rapidly. You see, caused the market to rise rapidly, and then this particular one, employment change, caused the market to come down. But if all three of them were giving USD gain, USD gains, Pum, Pum, Pum. But because two are giving USD gains and one was giving USD lose, Pum, Pum, Pum. Do you understand? So that is just this. So when I dropped the news, I dropped the stuff and it's moved up. I was like, this thing is meant to have moved by 40 pips. Now, why is it just only around 30 pips? Then I now checked the news and I realized that the third matrix, that's the employment change, was giving USD lose. So at that point, they asked us to all close our trades. And the market was around 15, almost 20 pips, ish. So that means we closed at approximately around here, and we caught 1 to RR on this particular news prediction. So that is basically it. Did you enjoy this training? Did you learn something new from this particular training? So if you got value from this live stream and you took the trade I called out and made money, drop value on the group chat. You just doubled your small account. Are you serious? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Drop how much you made in the chat box, please. Drop how much you made in the chat box. Drop how much you made in the chat box. Me, I made a couple of dollars. All right. I made a couple of dollars. I have a friend here who made about for something, 30 something dollars. I made about 800 and something dollars. Not much actually, because the market did not move as I expected. I was expecting to make up to like 2,000, $3,000, but I just take the $800 and hold body. I thought I told my back Basabi. Drop how much you made actually on the chat box. Someone doubled his account. Awesome, 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 awesome. Drop how much you made. Drop how much you made. So what we are going to do is I actually want to make this something that will be recurring. So every single time when it comes to using news, so I'll be coming live like this to predict, and we'll be trading it. Do you understand? We're going to be trading it. So this is the first one, which is NFP. We are going to be having other news. We have CPI, we have PPI, and we have FOMC. So we are going to trade all three of them, just like how we actually live on YouTube and we learned and traded. That's also how I'm going to create a live stream like this. Drop the link for everybody to join. Come give my predictions, the reasons why I went for the prediction, and that. So we do that every single month. All the USD holders that are major coming out, so trading them like that, like this throughout this um, particular year. All right. Thank you very much for joining, and see you guys on the next live stream. Have a lovely and amazing day. Bye.